Night has fallen, and with it comes the hush of long-held secrets. Tonight we explore one such whisper across the centuries, the story of the Anunnaki, and the uncomfortable question, why might an institution like the Vatican have feared them? Before grand cathedrals and solemn masses in the fertile valleys of ancient Mesopotamia, people told stories of beings who descended from the heavens. These figures were called the Anunnaki, a name that, in ancient tablets, referred to gods of the Sumerian pantheon. They were powerful, otherworldly, and woven into the earliest myths humans preserved on clay. Millennia passed, empires rose, and religions changed. Ancient stories were folded, rewritten, or buried. New faiths rose in different tongues, and with them came new authorities who shaped which stories would be honored and which would be hidden. The idea that powerful religious institutions might fear ancient gods is, in part, symbolic. At stake is not simply a name in a tablet, but something far more dangerous to authority: alternative origin stories. If people believed humanity descended from sky beings, or if ancient texts revealed knowledge outside official doctrine, it could shake the foundations of accepted history and spiritual teaching. And so the stories of the Anunnaki, like precious metals, were carefully kept out of sight, passed down only in hushed whispers or hidden in plain sight, disguised as myth. But why would an institution like the Vatican fear these stories? Is it possible that the very texts that describe the Anunnaki could rewrite our understanding of history itself? To understand the possible reasons behind the alleged suppression of Anunnaki texts, we must first consider what these texts might reveal. In ancient Mesopotamian mythology, the Anunnaki were divine beings associated with creation and the destiny of humankind. They were said to have come from the heavens to earth, bringing with them knowledge and power. But this narrative raises a troubling possibility. If the Anunnaki were truly seen as gods by early humans, then the implications are profound. It challenges the traditional Abrahamic account of creation, in which God created humans directly. If there were gods who predated the current religious doctrines and had a hand in creating humans, it would fundamentally alter our understanding of spirituality and theology. This, in turn, could undermine the authority of institutions like the Vatican, which rely on a specific narrative of creation to support their teachings. In the book of Genesis, God is the sole creator of humanity, and any deviation from this account could be seen as heresy. The idea of extraterrestrial involvement in human creation would not only challenge the literal interpretation of religious texts, but also the very essence of faith as understood by many religions. Such revelations could lead to unrest and questioning of long-held beliefs, potentially destabilizing religious and cultural norms. This is perhaps why ancient texts hinting at the Anunnaki's existence were seen as a threat, because they posed a challenge to the established order of belief. They threatened to disrupt the status quo and potentially lead to chaos if they were to gain widespread acceptance. As society progressed and religions evolved, the Anunnaki tales were marginalized and incorporated into myths and legends rather than being recognized as historical accounts. This allowed the dominant religious narrative to remain unchallenged while still accommodating diverse beliefs within a broader cultural context. However, the desire to maintain control over religious narratives is only one possible reason for the alleged suppression of Anunnaki texts. There may also have been political and social motivations behind keeping these stories hidden. As empires rose and fell, new rulers often sought to impose their own beliefs on conquered populations. This resulted in the suppression of rival religions and the persecution of those who held nonconformist beliefs. During the rise of Christianity, for instance, Roman emperors persecuted early Christians, viewing their refusal to participate in traditional religious practices as a threat to social order and cohesion. Similarly, during the Islamic conquests, People who followed different faiths faced persecution and were often forced to convert or face exile or death. In this context, texts that described alternative gods or creation narratives would have been targeted for destruction, as they could incite religious conflicts and challenge the authority of the ruling powers. The preservation of certain historical texts is a complex process influenced by various factors. The survival of some texts, while others are lost or destroyed, is often a matter of chance or the particular circumstances surrounding their creation and use. Some texts may have been deliberately destroyed by those in power to maintain control over information and prevent the spread of potentially subversive ideas. Others may have been lost due to the decay of materials or simply because they were not considered important enough to be preserved. Still, others may have survived because they were incorporated into different religious traditions or used in ways that did not challenge the dominant beliefs of the time. In the case of the Anunnaki texts, it is possible that a combination of factors led to their alleged suppression. The fear of challenging religious doctrine, the desire to maintain social order, and the influence of political and cultural changes may have all contributed to the loss or marginalization of these ancient texts. As societies evolve and our understanding of the past continues to develop, it is essential to consider multiple perspectives when examining historical evidence. While the alleged suppression of Anunnaki texts poses intriguing questions about the nature of belief and the motivations of those in power, it is crucial to approach such topics with a critical and balanced perspective. Evaluating the available evidence, considering alternative interpretations, and acknowledging the complexities of history allow us to gain a deeper understanding of the past and the forces that shape our world. So does the Vatican truly fear the Anunnaki? Perhaps the answer is layered. Part doctrine, part politics, part the human instinct to contain the unknown. When new ideas promise to redraw a map of human origins, institutions that steward belief face a choice: adapt, contest, or contain.